Hello, friends. If you are looking or going solar, then I think it's one of the prudent decisions that you are taking in preserving the environment. And not only this, you are going to enjoy the smooth electricity for decades. If I look in the last decade, you will see that the technology, solar technology has improved so much. You will see the solar panels of latest technologies like bifacial solar panels, monopulse solar panels, half-cut solar cell technology solar panels. And at the same prices of the solar power system has slashed by more than 80 to 90% last decade. So this has made solar as one of the most sought after renewable energy option for people. But before doing so, before you are planning installing solar power system on the rooftop, you need to understand certain factors. You need to consider certain factors. And if these factors favors you solar, then I think solar is going to be the most favorable energy option for you. Okay, let's start. Number one, you need to understand your present energy consumption. If your energy consumption, utility grade energy consumption is moderate to high, then I think you should go for solar because you are consuming more electricity and you are paying more for that, more money for that. Why so? If you look around, if you see in the last 5 to 10 years trend, you'll see that your electricity prices, grid utility prices are rising. Why is it so? It's all because the energy, the which we are getting from utility is mostly coming from burning fossil fuel. And fossil fuels are something which is non-renewable source of energy. Fossil fuels are limited and our demands are increasing day by day. Supply is limited, demand is increasing. So obviously the price is going to rise in future, or not only in future. You see that prices are rising, electricity grid prices are rising because of limited supply of electricity from fossil fuels. So this is also one of the factors that you should look for alternate energy option which is available in abundance, which is solar energy. So if your present energy consumption is more moderate to more, then you should consider solar. And at the same time, you should foresee your future energy needs. If you foresee that your future energy needs or consumption is going to increase, let's say one or two family members are going to join in next 1 2 years, then obviously your energy consumption is going to increase. So you should consider not only your present energy consumption but also future energy needs. On the basis of that, you should try to size the solar power system. A bit of extra size would be advisable in case your future energy needs are going to increase. So this is the factor number one. Let's come to the sunlight intensity. Again, one of the most important parameters for considering going solar. The regions around the equator, Tropic of Cancer, in between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. These regions receives very good amount of sunlight. So people who are living in these regions are going to enjoy solar electricity. Here, people with fewer solar panels can meet their energy needs with fewer solar panels. While on the other hand, people living far away from equator, say near the poles, here the sunlight intensity is low because of the grazing of the sunlight. You would be needing more solar panels to meet the same energy needs. So the regions close to the equator receive more sunlight than the other places. So one of the positive parameters for people who are living near to the equator or in between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, these are the regions which receives very good amount of sunlight intensity. Again, if you're living in the northern hemisphere, then your home, your roof should have shade-free area in the south-facing homes. You should have shade-free areas in the south direction if you're living in the northern hemisphere. While on the other hand, people living in the southern hemisphere like Australia, they should have shade-free area on the rooftop facing north direction because the periphery of the sun in the southern hemisphere is from sunrise to sunset is in the north direction. So if you tilt your solar panels when you are living in the southern hemisphere, if you tilt your solar panels towards north, you are going to receive the good amount of sunlight from sunrise to sunset. While on the other hand, people living in the northern hemisphere, they should face their solar panels towards the south so as to get the maximum amount of sunlight from sunrise to sunset. So these factors are also need to be considered. For people living in the northern hemisphere, they should have shade-free regions in the south direction. For people in the southern hemisphere, they should have shade-free rooftop in the north-facing direction. Next condition is roof condition. You need to analyze, you need to observe that what is the condition of your roof. If it needs repairing, then you should first repair it, because solar panels, if they are not too heavy, but they do put pressure on the roof. So first of all, you need to consider, you need to analyze your roof. If roof is in good condition, then obviously you should go for solar power installation. So this is one of the also one of the most important parameters that you need to consider while going solar power system, because it is the roof on which solar panels are to be installed. If the roof is not strong, then there may be chances that the solar panels may the loose installation may let solar panels to fall down. So this is one of the foremost conditions that you need to consider. Another factor is financial considerations. Yes, solar power systems, even though they offer you very attractive return on investment, they are costly. They require initial investment, system costs, installation costs. So, before planning going solar, you need to consider your budget also. Whether you are going to invest 100% equity in the solar power system, or you are going to borrow 50% and invest 50% of your equity, what would be the rate of interest and other financing options. So financial considerations should be there, because solar power system needs good amount of investment initially. Another factor that you need to consider is rules and regulations. Every state, every country has its own rules and regulations for setting up the solar power system. Many governments, many local governments and central governments offer tax incentives and subsidies for people who are installing solar power system on the rooftop. So you need to aware the rules, regulations, tax incentives, and the subsidies for installing the solar power system. Yes, although your solar installer would be guiding you in this, but beforehand you should know all these procedures so that things would be easier for you. Yes, most of the solar installers, they do all these things by themselves. They let their customer to sit, they take care all the things, from starting from all the permits, all the guidelines that has to be considered while setting up the solar power system, all the approvals they take by themselves, solar installers. And they also help the homeowners to get the subsidy with a minimum time period. But you should also know, but it is your responsibility to know the guidelines, procedures, tax incentives, and the rebate. Another factor is the life of the system. See, this is something which needs to be understand carefully. Yes, a solar power system requires investment. Solar panels, they are very durable. They last for over 25 to 30 years. And once you install a solar power system, it takes at least 5 years to pay back, to break even your cost. And thereafter, you start enjoying smooth electricity for free, because your money is returned after 5 years in 5 years. And solar panels, if you want to enjoy smooth electricity for decades, for that, you should, you have to be in the house for another 25 to 30 years. So it is a long-term benefit. If you're planning shifting from one place to another place from your present house, then it is of little use installing solar power system. So the requirement is, if you are living in a house and you and are going to live in this house for another 25 to 30 years, then installing a solar power system would be very attractive. Another is, solar panels are environment friendly. See, it is our responsibility to preserve our environment. If we look around, we see that we face problem of global warming. It is because of greenhouse gas effect. Greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, it has a property of trapping sunlight, heat. It has a property of trapping heat. And due to this, our environment is getting warmer than before. Yes, carbon dioxide is not a poisonous gas. It is not harmful to us. It is present beforehand. When we exhale, we release carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is not a poisonous gas. It is useful to us. But excess of carbon dioxide is harming our environment. And it is not carbon dioxide, it is us who is harming the environment. In the last 200 to 300 years, the emissions, carbon emissions, has increased too much by many folds. Deforestation, setting up of industries, factories has resulted in increase in the overall average temperature of the earth by about 1.5 degrees Celsius. And it has caused havoc like extreme weather conditions, extreme rainfalls, droughts, melting of glaciers, and floods like never before, extinction of animals, birds, migration, and many other consequences which I think we cannot foresee as of now. So if you are going solar, if you are environment, you are conscious for environment and going solar, then it's going to be a very smart and big step towards preserving the environment. A 5 kilowatt solar power system can reduce carbon emissions over 7 tons per year. So these are the factors that you need to consider before going solar. And these factors, if these factors are favorable to you, then obviously solar is it's nothing better than going solar and enjoying smooth electricity for decades. Thank you.